It's below freezing outside. Ice on the windshield, frost creeping across the mirrors. A wind chill no trucker would survive. And inside that truck, a driver is sound asleep under a single blanket. No shivering, no stress, just a regular Tuesday. So how do truck drivers stay warm when the world outside is freezing solid? The truth is, it isn't luck or trucker toughness. It's a system. You might think, why not just leave the engine running? It produces heat, and heat keeps you warm. Problem solved. Except most cities and states have laws against exactly that. Anti-idling regulations designed to cut down on emissions. Thereby, burning diesel all day is no real solution. So if the engine's out, what's left? This will surprise you. Tucked into the frame of the truck, usually somewhere near the fuel tank, sits a device about the size of a toolbox. It runs on its own fuel line, straight from the diesel tank, completely separate from the engine. It's called a bunk heater, and it does one job. It burns a small, controlled amount of fuel and turns it directly into warm air, pumped straight into the sleeper compartment. We're talking a fraction of a gallon per hour. Enough to heat a small space, not enough to move a 2-ton truck. Some drivers run these things for years without ever touching the main engine overnight, and the fuel bill barely moves. Most truck drivers never think about it. It just runs, quietly, all night, keeping the temperature exactly where they set it. But the bunk heater is only half the story, because heat leaking out as fast as it comes in isn't worth much. That's where the cab itself comes in. A sleeper compartment is not just sheet metal with a mattress thrown in. It is built in layers, an outer shell, insulation packed in the middle, and an interior lining. The same basic idea as the walls of a house, just squeezed into a space the size of a closet. The floor is insulated. The roof is insulated. Even the windows are built to cut down on heat loss. None of it is an accident. A truck that cannot hold heat in the cold does not sell in the states and provinces where winter actually means something. Manufacturers test these cabs in climate chambers built to mimic the coldest nights a truck might ever face, long before a single unit rolls off the line. Now comes the cheapest trick in the entire system: a curtain. It sounds too simple to matter, but closing that curtain off between the cab and the sleeper cuts the space the heater actually has to warm. Smaller space, faster heat, less fuel burned to hold it. Drivers who've spent a few winters on the road figure this out fast, and they never stop doing it. $50 worth of fabric, and it can be the difference between a heater running for 4 hours a night or 8. But even if all this works, cold weather always finds ways to cause problems nobody thinks about until it's too late. Take diesel fuel itself. Around minus 20 degrees, untreated diesel starts to gel. Wax crystals form inside the fuel, clogging lines and filters. And if that happens, it doesn't just stall the engine. It can shut down the bunk heater at the exact same time because they're both running off the same tank. The fix is an anti-gel additive poured in before the cold really sets in. Every driver who's been caught without it learns that lesson exactly once. Then there's the batteries. Cold cuts battery capacity hard, sometimes by more than half. Run a heater and a full set of cab electronics off a weakened battery bank overnight, and you're gambling on whether you wake up warm or wake up cold. Experienced drivers double up, running extra batteries just to cover the gap. It's not for convenience. It's so the system doesn't quietly die at 3 in the morning while they're asleep. Because that's the real danger. Not the cold itself, but the cold catching you off guard. Picture it. You're parked somewhere remote, temperatures deep below freezing, and the heater just stops. No warning, no alarm, just silence where there used to be a low hum. In a space that small, without insulation and airtight seals working against it, the temperature can fall fast enough that within 20 minutes it stops feeling like an inconvenience and starts feeling like a real problem. This is exactly why experienced drivers never treat the heater as something that just works. They check it. They carry backups. Extra blankets, cold weather gear within arm's reach, sometimes an emergency sleeping bag rated for real cold, tucked away somewhere they can grab it without thinking. Not because they expect to need it, but that one night they don't have it is the one night it matters. Some drivers skip the risk altogether and trust something else. Certain truck stops now offer something most people driving past would never notice: electrified parking spaces. A small box on a pole next to the parking spot, a cable running straight to the truck, and suddenly the driver's got heat, power. Even a television running without burning a single drop of diesel or touching the bunk heater at all. It's called shore power, borrowed straight from the shipping industry, where docked boats do the exact same thing. Drivers pay a flat fee for the night, plug in, and the truck stop's grid does the rest. No fuel gelling, no battery drain, no risk of a heater quietly failing at 3 in the morning because there's no heater involved in the first place. The catch is these spots are limited, and not every truck stop has them, so it's first come, first served. And the good spots fill up fast on the coldest nights of the year. But for the drivers who plan ahead and grab one, it turns the entire problem into a non-issue. No backup plan needed because there's nothing to back up. And here's the part you wouldn't expect. Ask a driver who's actually spent a winter doing this properly. Heater working, curtain closed, everything dialed in, whether they'd rather be somewhere else. Most of them say no. Because once that curtain closes and the heater kicks on, something changes. The world outside, the cold, the wind, all of it becomes background noise on the other side of a thin wall that suddenly feels a lot thicker than it is. The space gets small, familiar, quiet. No traffic noise fighting for attention. No neighbors. Nothing except a low, steady hum and a set temperature that doesn't move no matter what's happening outside. Drivers who've done this for years will tell you the same thing over and over. They sleep better out there, wrapped in a blanket in a box that shouldn't work this well, than they do most other places. It shouldn't work. A few inches of insulation, a toolbox-sized heater, and a curtain standing between a person and a temperature that could genuinely hurt someone in minutes. But it does work. Every single night, all winter long, in trucks parked along highways most people drive past without a second thought. And somewhere inside one of them, right now, someone's asleep, warm, breathing slow, while the world outside keeps trying its hardest to prove that shouldn't be possible, and failing the same way it fails every winter, one truck at a time.